Hi, I'm Leanna.
Hi, I'm Amit,
I'm Nitesh.
and this is a special guest we have today, Kavi, president of GUYSA at USF.
Hi everyone, I'm Kavi, and we're about to
Go
down Bacchanal Boulevard.
Are you ready for Bacchanal, 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 Bacchanal? Are you ready for Bacchanal, Bacchanal, Bacchanal?
How did you come up with the idea to start GUYSA?
Oh man, it was a pretty lengthy process, I'd say. So it started my sophomore year of college, right? And I was already involved with two organizations, the Dominican-American Student Association in Asia. And around that time as well, Lime at USF I started, so the Trini organization at USF. And at this point, I had been living in Orlando for about a year, and I realized, like, yo, there's a huge Guyanese population here in Central Florida, and I'm half Guyanese, so I was like, we should have some sort of representation, right?
There's no club for us here.
Exactly. So over the year, I kind of think of an idea like, okay, maybe I'll start an org, maybe I'll start like an Indo-Caribbean org, like how ICSA is, right? And that also like came with, I met an alumni named Dylan Beam, who was the former West Indian Student Association president at USF back when he was at USF. And that was like 2020, so about 3 years prior to this, right? So he gives me the idea, we try to start it up, and USF was like, oh yeah, we don't have this information anymore, we can't create this club, and they're getting me to like fill out all kinds of random forms, like, okay, I enable with this right now, you know? So we put it on hold until last year. So I was thinking about doing GUYSA my freshman year. My sophomore year is so last year, when I decided to make GUYSA. And basically what happened was I was talking with other presidents from the other orgs, and I was like, I'm thinking about starting a West Indian Student Association. And they're like, well, we already have CCE. Why don't you create a Guyanese specific one? Because you know you'll have the people for it, the attention for it. So I talked it out with Dylan, and he thought about it for a while because, you know, he's giving up GUYSA. He's letting me rebrand it. He had to like think it over, and you know, like that's his passion project. I don't want to just like uproot it. Yeah, but he finally gives me the green light, hands over the Instagram, gives me the information I need, and I start the process for GUYSA. And that took about a month. And honestly, USF was really helpful with it. Everyone else was really helpful. They're like, oh yeah, we're gonna get you guys started. Like even before like how y'all did it, we were doing events like Lime held Soca and Sweat, which was like a Zumba kind of Soca
Cool.
event, and we pulled up, and for an org that wasn't officially an org, we had the highest attendance there. So you know, like the market was there for it. So then I had to assemble an e-board, right? And basically, let's just say Guyanese obviously love to fet. So I'd say like 80% of my e-board was people who I met who are Guyanese, and they're at a function. I was like, yo, do you want to join? And they're like, I guess. And then we all came together. We had about 12 people our first year. And January 2023, GUYSA was officially a thing. Yeah.
Wow.
That's really cool.
That's really cool.
I don't know if I know of any other like Guyanese student orgs like in Florida, at least out of like the other major universities. I think USF might be the only one.
So we are actually the first in the South, like in the entire South. All the other Guyanese orgs are in New York.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, there's Queens College. I think there's another university in Queens that has one as well, I believe. But in terms of like Florida and the South, like there's no record of any other Guyanese org. Like we are the first one.
Wow, that is amazing. And you guys were a big inspiration for ICSA as well. Like the content that you post, the type of content, the type of events that you have. When we started ICSA, I started with Amit and Alex. We were looking at GUYSA for inspiration to create this club because we wanted it to be just as good, maybe even a little better than GUYSA. So we'll see. Maybe we can do it. We just got started, so give us some time.
Setting the standards high, right?
Yes.
And how did you guys find GUYSA? May I ask, like, what was your way of finding your way to us?
Well, when I joined UCF, I was kind of looking for Indo-Caribbean clubs, just like you were at first. And just scrolling on Instagram and looking, you kind of just popped up on my feed on TikTok, and then I was like, okay, I need to do something.
You found us on TikTok.
Yeah, I found you guys on TikTok.
Okay.
Like
So the social media is working.
It is. Who's your public relations? They're doing a good job.
Actually, at the time, the TikTok ideas, like to go and use TikTok, was my idea. I was like, we need to use Reels. We need to use TikTok. Like, trust me.
Yeah.
Like I do post TikToks myself, and literally I just post myself being Guyanese, mention like one thing, and you go viral. So I was like, look, maybe we can do this for GUYSA and do the same thing. So,
Yeah, no, I've like looked up like, hashtag Guyana and you're on there.
I think I'm also on hashtag Suriname, and
Really?
I'm not Surinamese whatsoever, but we'll go with it.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever gives you that representation, yeah.
Exactly that.
Yeah, I want to start making TikToks like that, especially with the board members as well, that give us that amount of representation. So not only that UCF sees it, but all Guyanese, like even in Queens, see that.
You get more Guyanese from Queens? Like
Yes.
this one?
Hey, I mean,
Bring them down to Florida, yes.
Recruit them to join the
slowly they're
ICSA
coming.
board.
We already got one.
But I mean, I can't even lie. That was like our similar idea. Like, oh, we want to convince people to come to USF. We want
Yeah.
to continue this legacy on our board. Like, that's a perfect demographic to target because Queens to Florida is a pretty typical migration pattern. I don't know. It's something about like some magnet that like brings you guys here. But
No clue.
it was definitely like something we did want to target, you know? So I
Yeah.
definitely do get that. Yeah.
When I created it with Alex, I was keeping in mind not only people that want to come to UCF, but also like my brothers that
Yeah.
are still in high school. One is in SSC right now. And I was like, I want to make a space for them when they come to UCF so they can feel included, kind of just hand off like this club to them in a way. And so they won't feel as alone or misunderstood when they get to UCF. They already have a group of people here that
Right.
understands them and they can go hang out with and make some friends maybe. So I was keeping in mind like most of my family that wanted to come to Florida too from Queens as well. I was like, okay, I'm going to start this club for you guys. Once it's time for you to come down to Florida, if you want to come to UCF, you already have a space here for you.
Right. And that was definitely another thing as well. Like within Florida itself, we branded ourselves as, because we knew we were the only one. We're Florida's Guyanese club, right?
Yeah.
Not just like, I know we also have like different organizations outside of USF, like GCNTB, who has been great help. I believe there's another Indo-Caribbean org in Tampa. But in terms of university students, like people know us, I want people to know like,
Yeah. And you do a good job at it
exactly.
too.
In terms of university students, like come to Tampa. Like we're
Yeah.
we're here for you to feel like you have a community. And we want everyone to know like no matter what part of the state you're in, South Florida, Central Florida, or North Florida, like this is a place for you to, like meet people from your background and not feel like there's any judgment or any like
Yeah, exactly.
conflict,
Yeah. So, Nitesh, you moved down here from Queens, right?
Yeah.
When did you move down?
I moved down on August 18th.
August.
August.
August 18th. He's from New
I
York.
told you.
in New York.
I told you.
August.
Say coffee.
So when
Yeah.
you came to UCF, were you looking for a club or like were you kind of hoping that there would be one? Because I know the switch up from Queens where you're around a bunch of West Indian people to Florida where you're around like white people and stuff.
Yeah. So in New York, I used to hang out. So I went to private school actually, and it was pretty diverse in a way.
Private school money.
Oh yeah. It was cool. It was fun. Yeah, I went to private school and it was diverse. So I had like a lot of different type of people around me, which was fine. I liked it. But I also had my little Guyanese community myself. Because I play like tabla and I go around and I play for gigs and all this stuff.
Church by.
Yeah, pretty much. So so I had that going for me there, and I had all my friends doing that. So when I came here, I was looking for a similar crowd. So I was looking for something like ICSA, but it wasn't a thing yet. So I joined ISA instead. In New York, I was not friends with a lot of Indians. Like ISA was really different. And
Right.
I liked it. It was cool, and I made my friends there. But it wasn't exactly what I was looking for. And then when I heard of ICSA, Alex slid into my DMs with this
Yeah.
idea. I'm like, oh, this sounds really cool. I wanna join it. I wanna help out. Yeah,
What was his pickup line?
Hey, what's your name? I'm like, yo, it's my Instagram. You're texting me on Instagram. Like, that's my name. But yeah, it was a really good idea. I liked it. And I'm really happy I joined because now I got to meet fellow Indo-Caribbeans.
Yeah, and when I came to UCF too, I was like looking at ISA and CSA. I was like, okay, maybe I can find my people like in CSA or ISA, right? And just none of them fit, and it wasn't working. And that's when I knew that Alex and I had to start this idea to make the club because I know that we're out there. It's just hard to find us in this school because it's Florida. It's harder to find West Indians. And I thought if we made this club, they're just gonna come and like they're gonna have a huge group of people. It just makes it easier to find people like you.
Yeah. The one thing I will say is like when you created GUYSA, I'm not gonna lie, USF was like the last school I thought would make like a Guyanese student.
Really?
Yeah, because like I know UCF is like has a big diaspora of Guyanese people in like South Florida. So
Right.
when I first heard about, I don't really remember how I heard of you guys, but I was probably scrolling on some sort of
Yeah,
social
and
media
it
and I
came up.
saw it and I'm like, what's this? And then I'm like, wow, like I wonder who had the initiative to make a Guyanese student
Right.
association in Florida.
So two big factors definitely played into it. So a lot of we already had like here, right? The demand for an ICSA makes more sense because you guys want to include Trinidad, Guyana, and Suriname, and then the other islands also have Indian diasporas. Whereas at USF, we already have Bois, like the Bahamians, Jam, the Jamaicans, Lime, the Trinis, so on and so forth. Like most of the islands have something, you know. And another thing you have to remember is a lot of students from Orlando come over to Tampa because they want to get out of Orlando, you know, try something new. And there's a huge, I think Claremont is the next biggest, at least Orlando Metro. The Orlando Metro area is the next biggest Guyanese
Claremont and
population.
Kissimmee.
Yes, Claremont and Kissimmee. And so a lot of those students had come over to USF. I myself, like I grew up in Atlanta, but I was living in Orlando as well. Like it was just kind of like a rite of passage for us to go to USF. You know what I mean? So there was going to be a demand. It was just going out there and finding them. You know, and that honestly was not as hard as I thought. Like they're everywhere.
I always do that. I'm like looking at somebody walking past the library and I'm like, I just have a feeling. I know it.
Yeah.
You're not Indian. I know it.
I'll give you some praise because like the way you grew GUYSA
Yeah.
is extraordinary. Like, because it's not just like you haven't just touched Guyanese people. Like, I see your like the stories and stuff. You guys pull everyone like to your events.
That was another big thing I wanted to keep from WISA, the West Indian Students Association. So we wanted to foster, especially. So a lot of the other Caribbean orgs, like a lot of them are straight from the islands or straight from the country. So like most of the people, at least when I was a freshman and sophomore, are from Jam or Jamaican, like straight from Jamaica, or straight if they're on Lime, most of them are straight from Trinidad. You know. And I mean, I still loved it. I still love going. But as like a West Indian American, I never felt like truly like, okay, well, now I feel like a bit like a bit different. Like our culture is older. Like our parents came to the States when it was like the 80s, 90s. There was in the Shabba ranks and all that. And over here, like everyone's blasting Young Brother now. And I'm like, well, I grew up on like, you know, like Murder, She Wrote and Ting-a-ling, you know? So it definitely kind of, even though we are also of the same heritage, like we have we are a living relic of our where our parents came from, you know? So I was like, okay, with GUYSA, I want to appeal to Caribbean Americans as well. Like at least let them come and feel like, okay, like yes, it's Guyanese, but like I can feel like as one with this. And then the other part to that is this Indian diaspora is huge. We have a lot of like Indo-Kenyans, Indo-Tanzanians, like Indo-Africans, and at USF, a couple Fijians, Surinamese. And I was like, well, they also need a place, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And while we're not outright like West Indian or I want them to like be like, okay, we come here, we can listen to chutney, we can eat our food and all that, and still feel included and feel like, okay, it's not quite me, but it's like, you know, like a place I can feel semi-close to it, you know, like closer rather than it being like mainland India. And there's nothing wrong with SIA, but for people of the diaspora, like they'll understand like our cultures evolved way like differently. So yeah, that's kind of like the two main thought processes.
You did a very good job because you said that you were making GUYSA because you know you had jam and stuff like that, but you did a good job of making it really inclusive.
Yeah.
And I really want to do that with ICSA and have different like West Indians in this club, not even just West Indians, anybody that wants to come and learn about the culture or just enjoys the culture, even if their culture is like a little bit similar and they can relate just a little and they have friends here and they feel at home, like that's the goal.
Like not even our whole e-board is Guyanese.
Yeah.
Like we have a Dominican, Pakistani, Tanzanian. Last year we had Indo-Kenyan, Jamaican, and a full Trini, you know? So like we're welcoming to everyone, bro. Like if you love Guyanese culture, bro,
Come on down.
Hop on, you know?
No, I appreciate that because it's cool because like even with us, as for GUYSA, like you said how you don't just cater to Guyanese yourself. Like you want to promote the culture, and promoting the culture goes to anyone, like of any like race, ethnicity, whatever. And the same thing for us. Like we're just trying to promote the Indo-Caribbean culture, just put it out there.
Exactly.
You know, because it's an amazing blend of culture, and it's like we want people to see that.
Oh, that's absolutely what you need to do. It's a beautiful culture that needs to be
Yeah.
touched up on more. Like we got shafted in history class. Like I don't know why we were never talked about, but this is our chance to, at least like show people who we are. We're not gonna stand and just say like, oh, we're South Asian anymore. We're gonna be proud to be West Indian.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like there's such a uniqueness in like Indo-Caribbean culture and as well as like Guyanese culture. Like you can't find that anywhere else. Just like,
Right.
and I know you guys probably experienced this like like growing up. I tell people that my family's from Guyana and they're like, "What's that?"
Yeah.
Like some
Yeah.
people thought that I'm from Ghana. in
Especially,
Africa.
Oh yeah, I've
Yeah,
gotten
I'm
Oh,
like-
I've gotten
yeah.
Ghana too many
Ghana.
times.
I've gotten that
Yeah.
too many times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I mean, growing up in Atlanta, like, bro, I live in the suburbs as well. It's not Atlanta proper. So anyone who was brown, at least in my area, was Pakistani. And they're not gonna know what Guyana or Trinidad is,
Yeah.
So I'll tell them that, and they're like, "Oh, you're Trini, or you're not black." I'm like, "Well, yeah, Trinidad's majority Indian, but like, okay." And then they're like, "What's Guyana?" "Oh, you mean Guyana?" I'm like, "Oh."
When I was younger, I used to just tell people I was Indian just to escape like the
Yeah.
history lesson. I didn't want to explain all that. I'm like, I'm just Indian, bro.
Same,
like,
bro. I'm not even
going to go into all that because you do not want to sit here and listen to it. And I think with promoting the culture through clubs and social media, maybe we won't have to have those conversations anymore. Like we won't have to explain the history because people don't know the history of Guyana. Like you said,
Right.
like history class never taught us that. So after this association, I don't want to have that history conversation anymore.
get that.
You guys better know what Guyana is.
So I would like to know in your point of view, actually. So in New York, right? Like, we know most brown people in New York are actually West Indian. So how is that like growing up? Did you ever feel like you had to explain? Did you ever have to like like touch up upon that, or did people just know like, oh, you're Guyanese?
So although I'm from New York and there's a lot of Guyanese representation out there, Trinity, all that, I went to private school, so it was a
Yeah.
lot of white people.
Okay.
And they don't know what a Guyanese person is.
Really?
So yeah, I had to explain. No one really went into depth because once I'm like, I'm Guyanese, and I explained like, oh yeah, Guyanese people came from India.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, so you're Indian. I'm like, yeah, I guess in a way. But I also went to temple like Mandera all the time, and I had my friends there. They're all Guyanese.
Yeah.
So I had that culture backing me the whole time.
Right.
So I met more people from my Mandera. I met way more people outside of there that are also Guyanese. So I had like a lot of people that knew who I was
Okay.
and knew what a Guyanese was because of my explanation, and also because they were Guyanese or some sort of Indo-Caribbean. Yeah, there's a lot of representation out there, though. I do kind of miss that. I miss every weekend having some random event to go play tabla or go
Yeah.
like the slime around with people. And it's lacking that here. But I see slowly it is on a rise. There's slowly more events coming out. Like for example, on March 15th, there's like a Pagua event I'm going to play tabla at here. And I'm playing with my New York folks here. So I'm like, this is going to be fun. It's like a little throwback. But yeah, I kind of do miss the New York.
the homey vibe
Yeah.
of like
Yeah.
having your culture around you.
Yeah.
Every time I go to Queens, and I always say this, but I don't get it here in Florida. I grew up in a very like white community. Nobody kind of knew what West Indians were. They kind of just like around my neighborhood, they just thought we were brown, And I didn't have like the weddings like next door. So every time I go
Right.
to Queens with my cousins, I always value it more because you open the window and it's like somebody's playing West Indian music, some uncle's like dancing in his garage, and it's like, I don't know. I value it more, and it feels homey because it's like no matter where you go, you're going to have your people around you, and it's different down here.
Yeah, I think it's funny because like when I go to Queens, I always enjoy going to Queens when I go to New York, like my brother and I, and there was a time I remember like I saw the big Sybil's restaurant, and I'm like, oh my
gosh.
God, Sybil's, and all my cousins were like, bro, what do you mean? I see that all the time. I'm like, this is new. This is like a
Yeah.
new thing for
I
me.
get
like,
super excited. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my
It's
God.
the Rock in
Yeah.
Mecca for us. Like
I-
Queens is our Mecca. And that's
Yeah.
It's our Mecca.
Yeah.
like people.
It's mad to think there's more Guyanese in New York than Georgetown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's actually insane to think that.
Call it
Yeah.
Little Guyana for a reason.
That's exactly what like Queens is, like Richmond Hill. Like I enjoy going there all the time because like you get to see like it's like you're in Guyana kind of. But you're really
Yeah.
not. Like it's Liberty Avenue. It's just Liberty
feels like
Avenue.
Guyana?
It's just Liberty Avenue. It feels like Guyana.
Does
though.
Guyana have the A train?
Maybe one day. But
So in New York, Seville's, that's a really important topic to me because I really miss it like bad. There's this Trini place by my house right down in Kissimmee, Point Siena. It's good. Like they have their Chinese cake, their cheese roll, and all these pie and tart, and it's good as a filler. But my dad went back to New York, brought back a box
Genuine.
of Sabills, and I'm like, wow, this is real.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a huge difference there. So hopefully they can open a Sabills down here, and I
Yeah.
can get
I
my
definitely
food again.
feel on that because I mean I did live in Toronto for a few years. I go there like 3 times a year every year, and on my Trinity side, like obviously doubles are a thing, you know. So, oh my gosh, like I'm not eating doubles here. Like I refuse. Up in Toronto is the closest thing we can get to Trinidad, but like yeah, every time I go to Toronto, it's a must to bring doubles back to like store into the freezer and save it for later. So I definitely understand you on that. Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell in New York, like the aunties make it with love. Down here, no love.
Yeah, something.
Just
down
throw
here
it
is straight
together.
business. It's business. Up
Just
there,
for
it's
business, exactly. Yeah,
family love.
please the average Floridian. That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
You know,
They're like,
there's
"This
a
is good
Sibbles in
enough."
South Florida.
There is.
There's a Sibbles in South Florida.
Guess we
Is
gotta
there
go
actually?
to
Yes, we gotta go
Yeah.
to South
Wait,
Florida.
wait.
I'm from South Florida. Yeah,
What
it's like
part?
Oakland Park.
Really?
It's like the same family. Like
Wait,
What?
is-
Yeah.
is
Bro,
Oakland
they
Park?
wanted a vacation home.
yeah. No, I like one thing I like from Sibbles is like the mini chicken patties. I love
Yeah.
those. And let me ask you guys, like you like Chinese cake or pine tart more?
Chinese
Pine
cake.
tart.
Chinese
Pine
cake.
tart.
Whoa.
Pine
Pine tart,
tart.
yeah.
Chinese cake.
All right, all right.
Is it table split? It's
Table
half and
split.
half?
Table
Oh,
split.
shucks.
Wait, how do you guys
Damn.
eat your Chinese cake? It's a random question, bro. I take the top off of it and then I like take all the stuff inside and like just eat that and then I eat the crust. I don't, I'm weird
No,
in
I
a
just
way.
bite into it.
I just
Nah,
bite-
nah,
You just
nah, nah.
dissect the,
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
cake. I just bite into it. Like, but I think it might be because I eat pine tart way more often. It's like a lot more common here at
I like
places.
pine tart. It's good.
Yeah.
I think my favorite I don't want to say Guyanese sweet, but like I guess like Indian sweet is like the mitai.
Mitai.
Oh,
Like not
mitai.
korma like you guys say it, like
Yeah,
mitai.
yeah.
Like
Okay,
the thick mitai. Like
Mhm.
Oh,
like
you like the triangle one? I like
Yeah.
the skinny one.
Really, I like the triangle one.
I like the triangle
soft on
one.
the inside.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like
Triangle's
the
the
crunch.
nice one.
I like the,
The crunch?
triangle one.
Really?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
like I don't know about you guys, but like my family in New York, every time we have like a reading or like some sort of event,
Yeah.
they would make like batches of mitai. Like it would be fun because like all the kids would be like they'd give them the mitai and then they'd pour like the sugar and then they'd be like mixing it and then they put a whole bunch of foil on like a table
Yeah.
and they just leave it out there to like so
Yeah.
the sugar can sit.
Hey man, whatever works.
It's a vibe.
I wanted to talk about like any funny beating stories, but nothing too crazy, guys. Nothing too
I don't got
wild.
any crazy.
I know you don't have
I'm
any.
young.
Yeah, you have
This
Mr.
is the
Spoiled in the
youngest
corner
sibling
here.
problem
Pot
Yeah.
spoon.
here.
Yeah, be pot spoon.
The pot spoon.
pot spoon.
Yeah.
Or belt. Yeah.
I said my Guyanese dad never hit me, but my Trinity mother dealt licks like it was nothing. Oh my god.
Jeez.
Yeah, my motto was bad.
Yeah, it's always the mother, you know. And especially we were saying before when you're doing your maths, you know, like it's 2 + 2 = 4. Why are you putting 3?
Or they say, me go left this house, me go left out, me go left out.
Oh, you can
Oh
miss
my
me when I
gosh.
got.
I just remember when I was learning. I think I vividly remember is remainders, right? Because obviously when we're first learning math, we do
Oh,
remainders.
God, yeah.
Well, my mom never learned that in Trinidad. They just went straight to decimals, and she used to get on me, bro. Oh my god.
I'd be doing algebra the first time, and my dad's like, "This is not how it's supposed. You guys are not learning properly. This is not how we used to
Yeah.
do math in Guyana."
Oh, God.
Yeah, no, I used to get beat at the dining room table. You'll hand in the homework, and there'll be like tears on.
Yeah.
Like, why is it wet?
and then,
There'll
and
be
then,
like tear marks, and the teacher's like, "Okay."
and then they're chasing you around with the spoon. You gotta run for your life.
Oh my
Hiding
God.
behind couches into.
I remember one time, I think my brother did something bad. He was a bad kid, and my mom got so mad. So she picked the first pot spoon that she found, and she was chasing him down the street. Down the street. That was so funny. He's fast, man.
Yeah. Hey man, is he like a star track man
No,
now?
he was
or?
chubby and squeaky back then, but he's fast.
I remember one time during Halloween, my brother and I, we weren't listening or something. We were like 6 or 7, and my mom was
Yeah.
like, "I'm gonna leave I at a park." And I thought I was scared, bro. I was at the park, and she stopped the car. I'm like, "Oh,
Hey,
I'm
Abby
like,
can't survive here.
I'm like, I'm only 7, mommy, not do this." Man, my Mario costume.
All right, I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Have any of you guys ever caught the belt?
Ooh.
Like stopped it?
was like,
Caught that
oh.
belt.
Nah,
Yeah.
I ain't gangster like that.
I caught it.
I choose life. I
Yeah,
choose
yeah.
life.
That's worse.
Because if you catch the belt,
They gonna drag you with it.
Yeah.
You're cremated the next day, you know. Like,
I think I caught the belt once, and it was my mom.
I think I caught the spoon. Not
Caught
the,
the
not
spoon,
not the,
yeah.
the belt was unstoppable.
I remember one time me and my brother did something bad. I think we used to go we used to go like on the rail, but the outside of the rail. So we used to climb all the way to the top, but we could fall, right? My mom got so scared, and when we came down, she beat us bad. And the spoon ended up breaking, right? Like she had like a wooden spoon. And then like she's like, go to your room. And then she's on the phone. Me and Dylan are like at the stairs and we hear her and she's like, these damn kids break up on me pot spoon. Like it's my fault.
I one time, it's not a beating story, but the way they word things to you sometimes, like I don't know if you guys like experience
Oh, yeah,
where,
like your favorite sayings.
like
Wait, what do you
well,
say?
it's more like if like you have a passing, they're like, oh, you know this person? Yeah, them dead. But
Dead.
but my nanny, shout out
Yeah.
nanny, she did this to me one time. Like I had a hamster. My brother and I had a hamster who we loved, and we had him for like 4 years. And one day we came home from school, and she's like, you know, something to smell me. Think your hamster croak. She said croak. She said croak. And my brother's just there. He's like in tears. He's like, what? And then she's like, I think the thing dead. She said it so casually, and he was like, what? He was like,
Oh my
he was in
God.
tears.
And she didn't do anything about it. She just watched it.
Yeah.
What
Not
can't
her
she do?
hamster.
Not her hamster,
Her
exactly.
hamster.
No.
She was like, what? The thing dead.
She's like, guard, throw it outside.
What was like your favorite saying that your parents would say? Like,
I can't think of any off the top of my head. They said a lot, man. Mostly when I was getting whooped.
yeah, like what? You got any examples?
You guys can think of any?
It's like,
What's your favorite?
oh, you don't care for me until I dead. or
Oh
something,
yeah,
you know?
That's like every guy
you
and his
miss
mother.
it when I got.
It's like every guy and his mother.
Exactly.
He's like, me go left this house. Me go left farm.
When I die, you're gonna know.
Yeah.
I have more so have like with my Aji, like I don't know where she got this from.
What
but
did Aji do to you?
No, she doesn't have any sayings, but like she says crab dog.
Crap.
Oh yeah.
Like I learned that from her. Like when she's talking about like an idiot person or something,
Yeah.
she's like,
My grandma used to say.
she's like that crab dog man.
When my dad's being ironic, he'll bring it up. That's like real, like
Mm-hmm.
has to be joking around. You know the favorite one. You guys can censor it, but skunt.
Skunt.
Yeah, I know my dad was pissed when he said that.
Mhm.
I would run for my
Yeah.
life. Yeah.
My dad never used that word in the house, though. No, never.
I don't hear a
Really?
lot of Guyanese like in my family. I've only heard it
Really?
if they're like drunk.
Really?
Yeah, I don't really like
Nah, nah.
honestly. Like they mean it. Like they'll mean it when they're drunk. Otherwise they're just like
my dad would say only when he's like really mad, but in general, like he just never really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like that word is worse than like the F word in the house.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
for
yeah,
some
yeah,
reason,
yeah,
for some weird reason,
That's
that's
what
like the
that's what
worst word.
confused me when I first moved here. Everyone was singing, and I was like, "You guys can't say that." Like what? Like calm down. Like you don't have
Oh,
to be
like
so angry.
West Indian people that you met.
Yeah. Because like I said, in Atlanta, at least my part, there's no Guyanese.
Yeah.
None. Like, there may be some Trinis, but like, so when I heard that word, it was like,
I honestly didn't know about that word until I was like in middle school because my parents never said
Me
that.
too, actually.
I never
Or
really heard my family
another
say it.
culture shock was Kuli. Because in Trinidad,
Kuli.
it's really taboo to say, or at least it used to be taboo to say it. Obviously,
Oh,
because
really?
it's derogatory to West
it
Indians.
is.
to
It's
Indians.
derogatory
Yeah,
because a Kuli is
exactly.
an
Like
Indian slave.
I learned it as well in South Africa, like Mauritius. You can't say that. Like
Mhm.
they'll be like that's disrespectful. But in Guyana, they like it's so
widely used.
Yeah, widely used. Like they took the word back.
Yeah.
kinda, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Now it's used to kind of just distinguish between like
Yeah.
a brown West Indian person and a black West Indian person.
exactly.
Yeah.
But like when I first heard it, I was like, once again, I was like, damn, like this is insane.
So in Trinidad, it's derogatory to say even between two like West Indians, like brown West Indians.
It's definitely changing now. I'd say like our generation doesn't really care, but
Yeah.
my parents' generation is really disrespectful to say it.
You know what? My parents said the same thing. After I like kind of joined this club, or like when I would say it, my parents would be like, "Don't say that."
Really? Because my
Yeah.
parents, they don't. I mean, they don't say it often, but they don't have a problem with it. Like,
Yeah.
I said it like my whole
Really?
life. I never.
Oh, yeah.
It's
in
like
New York,
it's very
you know, everyone-
often. I just like
Yeah.
look at Koli over there.
Because I remember the first time I had a Bengali kid come up to me. He's like, "Are you Guyanese?" Or no. He said, "Oh, you're Guyanese. You're Kuli." I was like, "Whoa!" I was like, "What?"
Whoa.
I mean, I'll let him. He was from Queens.
Yeah, I
knows-
mean, if
knows
he
the
doesn't,
culture.
he doesn't
Yeah,
know,
but-
like it's fine.
Yeah, I was like, I'll let him off this time, you know. Like,
Yeah, I never got hit with like a yo, you're Koli. I'm like, nah, like no one ever said it to me. We just say it as a joke usually.
you know, he
Yeah.
meant it in like a lighthearted way, not in like a
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, if you don't know what it means, then like obviously I'm not gonna take offense because you
Yeah.
don't know what you're doing. So
It's cool how you mentioned like how your family went to Canada because like I know
Yeah.
like I feel like in Guyanese families it's like atypical.
It's always New York, right?
It's always I feel like it's Canada and New York, but mostly New York. Because like
Yeah.
even my parents like they came in like the 70s and 80s and they navigated to New York and they like lived in Queens and
Okay.
like Bronx and then that's like I feel like that's every Cooley family story. Like they were there for like 10 years, 15 years, and then they migrate to Florida because they hate the cold.
Right.
Like that's
Yeah.
exactly how
that's
they hate
exactly
the cold.
what
And it's
happened
like
to me.
it's
Yep.
like, but for you to say like Canada, like it's cool because I don't personally know a lot of Guyanese like whose parents went to Canada
Really?
and then migrated like somewhere else.
Yeah, so my family decided to be the different ones. You know, instead of
Me
hitting
too.
Florida and New York, we hit Atlanta, Toronto, and London. Right?
London.
Yeah, I have a lot of family in London. Which is probably like the entire Guyanese population in London because like
Wow.
there's a lot there, but not really. You know,
I've never met a British Guyanese person before.
never met. You listen to Central C?
Oh my god, yeah, he is
Yeah,
Guyanese.
he's Chinese Guyanese.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
he's half Guyanese. I saw this
I went
video
to
of
the
him popping
I went
roti.
to the roti shop actually and
You-
interviewed them.
oh, yeah.
if you remember that. They're so nice, like the nicest
Yeah.
people.
What's
But
the name of it again?
Yumana Yana.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I forgot the translation. Or it's not like a translation, but like what it means. But the worker there or the owner, she's Chinese Guyanese as well, Deborah, and I believe she immigrated there when she was in like in her 20s. I believe that's what she said. But yeah, no, their food was good. Like I introduced my my friend to chicken curry and like Guyanese chicken curry and goat curry, and he was impressed. You know, like he's white, so he doesn't have much flavor to really go off of, you know. But yeah, so my parents immigrated from Trinidad and Guyana to Toronto when they were like 18 to like 20, like between that range. And like for the longest time, I thought all the Guyanese were in Toronto. Like I knew I had family in New York, but I thought they were all in Toronto because there's just a lot. Like, and another thing difference too with Toronto versus New York is that Toronto uses or takes in a lot of West Indian culture. You always hear soca music going down the street. Like you will see white people, Chinese people, or Asian people, so on and so forth, blasting soca and dancehall. You know, you don't. I didn't see that growing up in the States at all. You hear people using our slang. You know, people saying like wagwan or dunno and all that, mandem. You know, like that's like you don't hear that here in the States. So I always thought the epicenter was Toronto, but yeah, they met there. All my family stayed there, but my parents decided to come to the States, have me and my sister, and they chose Atlanta. To this day, I don't know why they chose Atlanta. I never really felt ATLian, even though I basically lived there my whole life. My sister, on the other hand, is the complete opposite. She is Atlanta until she dies. You know, like if you had to divide between the two, like I'm Toronto, she's Atlanta. Like there's definitely like the contrast. But yeah, I mean, growing up in both those cities, like they're definitely like contrasting vibes.
Yeah,
You know what I
so you have
mean?
like a lot of experience in like all cities,
Yeah.
except for Queens. Just
Not
a little
Queens.
bit.
Queens was my first time in Queens was last summer, and that was fun. That was really fun. Except it was hot, and I accidentally broke one of the 7-Eleven man's water bottles.
Nice.
Yeah, so that wasn't.
Oh,
He didn't really care, but I was like, yeah.
I actually have a Bronx story.
Bronx.
I got mugged.
Oh, nice. Sounds
What?
about
How
right.
and why?
It's probably my fault because I
Well, you gave him the wallet.
no
Take the money. You know?
no. I was 14. I was a little kid. I was with my
Yeah.
parent, my mom, my cousin, and stuff. And I had a chain that I just got from like my uncle in Guyana. It was a Guyana gold, right?
Yeah.
It was a Hindu-owned pendant. I know.
He already
He's shaking
knows.
his head. So I was walking in Queens, a little kid, and out of the corner of my eye, I see a man like he looks like he's 50.
Yeah.
And he's swerving through people. Then he comes up to me and he just
On a bike,
no,
Snatches it?
just like
Just
like-
running?
like
on a jog.
on a jog, and he just picks up, boom, smash, and then he snatches it, and then he
Yeah.
ran across the train line, like across like to the other side. It was under the train line.
Like
we,
this is in.
we were under the train line in the
Yeah.
Bronx.
Damn.
And it was funny because the thing that I took out of it was so two relatives of mine were from Guyana, and
Yeah.
they were like looking up at all the buildings and stuff in the Bronx. I'm like, and then he came up to me and he's like, "Oh, I mean, I know this type of stuff happened here too." He's like, "Oh, I would look out for you." I was like,
Yeah, no, that was something surprising. I mean, like I know New York, like obviously it's a big city. It's
Yeah.
gonna have crime, you know. But like when I posted the video about it on my TikTok, everyone would say like, "Oh yeah, this place is dangerous. Like don't go to Richmond Hill anymore." This and that. Like there's theft, there's shootings and stuff. Is it? Would you say it's that bad now?
I
or-
don't think it's that bad. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people. Okay, for example, something in Florida. There was a shooting downtown.
Yeah.
Right. That happened, but it doesn't make the place a dangerous place. Like, yeah, there's shootings. So that happens everywhere. Like Richmond Hill, there's like, okay, the other day I opened my phone. I opened the what's it called app? Citizen app.
The Citizen app.
Yeah, just like to see what's going on in the area. I was
Real
in New
New
York.
Yorkian.
Yeah. And I see like a man getting chased by a turkey and stuff like that. It's like stuff like that. It's like funny stuff, but there's not a lot of like okay, maybe there is. But there's not like enough of it to make you be like, "Oh, New York is mad dangerous."
Yeah.
Like I lived in Hollis, Queens my whole life, right?
Okay.
And I used to take the bus starting freshman year. So kindergarten to 8th grade, I was like babied. I was taking my parents would drop me, pick me up from school. I lived 7 blocks away. I could have walked, but nah, it's got picked up, whatever. I loved it. And then I started high school, and I'm like, Mom, I want to take the bus. My dad's laughed at me. My mom's like, oh, go take the bus, have fun. So I started taking the bus with me and my boy Carl Beans, right? So we were chilling on the bus, and it was cool for a little bit. Then I see it's not dangerous. It's not scary at all. In the beginning, it was scary because I'm like, yo, there's like 30 other people standing in front of me on this little bus. So like one of them can just steal my bag or whatever. And at one point in my school, we had a few threats, like bomb threats. Okay. So I had to wear a clear bag. So when I was walking around Queens with a clear bag on, with a uniform. I was like a prime, like bully this kid. But no one ever like, they would see me like, oh, that kid's from prep. He's from St. Francis Prep. They knew my school. It's like whatever, all that. I had one experience on a bus though. I was so this was senior year actually. This is like January. So January, New York. It was snowing. It was dark. It was cold outside. So I was wearing my big puffer. And then I had my bag. This is my normal bag, not a clear bag anymore. And I feel like some tugging on the back. I'm like, what's going on? So I turn around and I see like this guy, we call him Pa. He's like the local Queens, like I guess homeless
local
guy.
bad man.
Like this is my boy. He lives on the side of the street. We call him Pa. And I see Pa tugging at my bag. I'm like, yo, Pa, what you doing? He's like, oh, you got stuff in there. I want it. But I low-key think Pa was having a really bad day because Pa was not feeling me. He don't remember me at all. He just was tugging at my bag, and I had to push him, shove him away, and I got off the bus, and I walked home after that. It was at my stop, too, so it was fine. But it was just more like that was the most dangerous thing that happened to me in New York. So I wouldn't say it's like super duper dangerous. And I was outside. I feel like I was outside enough to be like robbed once or twice if I had to, but it wasn't nothing crazy.
I don't know. When I was there, I felt like the only thing that could kill me in New York, there's 3 things. Those rats. Humongous. The throw up on the subway. Oh. And then dying from the 3 trillion people that all want to board the bus during rush hour. And I was taking the bus to LaGuardia. So like, oh my God.
Also, we have dollar cab drivers there that do not care. If you see one of their cars, they're driving around on Jamaica Avenue, honking their horn. They're like, anyone needs a ride, whatever. And it's out of nowhere if you're driving. I learned, like, I started to drive in New York in February and moved in August, but I was driving from that whole time. And anytime I'm driving on the Ave, I just feel like this, like, emergency brakes on, like, they're there because a dollar cab just stops out of nowhere there. Those can kill you.
Damn.
Dollar cabs.
Yeah, dollar cabs. Any black little taxi. Yeah.
Stay away from them.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're the ops.
Dude, that's how I know I'm a Florida girl. I don't belong in New York, bro. I couldn't do that. The rats, I can't do it. I can't even do lizard. It's like
really?
No.
No, when I was living in Madrid studying abroad last semester, it was definitely like my first like taste of real like city life. But Madrid is like a way cleaner version of New York. And yeah, I definitely understand that those taxis don't care, man. They'll just drive straight through you if they need. They'll get their customer to the destination, you know. So, yeah, no.
Just side note, you guys by chance know which part of Guyana your family's from?
Yeah.
Like the village name?
Oh, I don't know the village name. I know my mom's from New Amsterdam. My dad's from Georgetown.
My dad's straight from Georgetown. City boy.
Straight out of Georgetown.
My mom's from Bush Lot, and then my dad's from Canal number 2 Polder.
Holy.
The specifics.
Have you guys visited?
No.
I have not either.
I've been there twice. It's very hot.
Yeah, I could imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an experience though. Like when I go with my family, the main things we do is we like visit all the family you have there because my dad has family there. Okay. So we visit them, and then outside of that, like if you go for cricket time, it's the best time to go.
That was like the perfect time.
It's the best time to go because everyone like it's crazy. Like all the hotels there are like booked up and it's expensive. Like you have to book like a year in advance if you want to go for cricket there. But cricket's a big thing in Guyana, as you guys probably know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's definitely like the experience when you go there. I feel like when like American-born Guyanese go there, it's always like a sort of like a passageway to like go and see your family or like go see where your parents like lived. Because like I would go and see where my dad's house was or like where my mom's house was.
A little pilgrimage.
Yeah.
To the little holy land. Motherland.
Yeah. Little pilgrimage.
No, I need to. Like obviously being the president of a Guyanese order, it's kind of a must. I should go to Guyana at some point. But it's just a bit tougher, obviously. My dad, he gave up his citizenship like when he left, right? They actually went to Antigua for Toronto. So we have a bit of like family still there. I don't really have any family in Guyana still, like that are like direct relatives, you know. So it's a bit tougher to go, but like I have to go. Like
Yeah.
I want to definitely see it before it gets like super developed. Like obviously the
Yeah, I
oil
wanna
money is coming in quick, you know. Like they got
Yeah.
Starbucks now, you know.
Yeah.
Like, but I want to see it before it has like everything else. Like
I
I
want to
can't
see it in its natural state,
Yeah.
like when my parents saw it.
exactly. I don't want to go there and see Chick-fil-A, bro. Like
Yeah.
imagine
Go
that,
there and see
bro.
McDonald's.
They have a
like,
Starbucks there.
Yeah,
they do.
yeah.
Yeah. No, they're definitely getting up there with development and stuff like that.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
how many times have you been?
Twice.
And what were like the time
So
periods between?
so I went in 2014 when I was 10, and then
Yeah.
I went last year. So in those 10 years, there were some like minor
Yeah.
like differences that I noticed. Of course, like there's a lot more like of course I think they incorporated more like fast food chains and stuff,
Right, yeah.
and, like more restaurants.
As we've
But
heard.
there's a lot of course, like I don't know if you guys know, but they're building a skyway bridge.
Oh, yeah.
So when you go there, like if you're driving, like they have I think it's like the Demerara floating bridge. Like if you cross
Yeah.
that, you'll see the entire like bridge being like built, and like apparently it's supposed to look really nice by the end of it. But I do know that in the future, Guyana has a lot of development projects going on.
Okay.
So oil money.
What is it?
But-
Georgetown.
Oil money.
Georgetown's gonna look like Singapore or something,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah,
Like
And
something
Dubai.
like that.
God willing, but
Dubai.
did you go fight in Essequibo or what?
Nah, but you know, it's definitely like there are a lot of spots you can hit up when you go there for the first time. Starbuck Market is a must.
Okay.
Like that's like the famous market there. There's a couple tourist spots. Like I could definitely go to like Central Georgetown.
Yeah.
Is a great place to go to. Seawall. You gotta go Seawall.
Oh, Seawall.
Seawall.
Yeah,
You gotta go Seawall.
that's a must. That's a must.
Seawall.
Okay.
Kaishore Falls.
Kaishore
Of course,
Falls.
Kaishore looked beautiful in the reel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kaishore is a
That was
once
sick.
in a lifetime experience.
Yeah, it's a must.
Is
Okay.
it anything like Niagara Falls or?
Uh,
And
Get
do
outta
they have chow mein and chicken curry like they do in New York's Kaishore?
so surprisingly, when my parents booked, it's like a tour group, and when
Okay.
you go on like a 15-seater plane, and then it's like an hour flight from Ogle or
You were
wherever.
on a helicopter, right?
No, it was a
Like a mini
it
plane.
was like a
Like
mini
a
plane,
Cessna,
like
like
a,
a-
it,
yeah.
was like kind of it's like a 15-seater plane, and so it's an hour flight from Ogle to Kaishore, and so when you land, there's a tourist center, like it just looks like
Yeah.
a house, and they have like a whole bunch of like different readings you can like about the history of Kaishore Falls and stuff, and then it's about a 15-minute like hike to the falls, like
Okay.
to the different vantage points. There's 3 different ones.
Right.
They switched up some things now though. Like when my dad went back in like 2007, they actually were able to go in the water, like near
yeah.
the edge of the falls.
What?
Like there's pictures of
That's
them there.
mad. What?
Apparently,
That's crazy.
like my dad, like I don't know, he's an adventurer. Apparently, he went like towards the edge. I'm like, bro,
Where's Indiana Jones?
yeah. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, but apparently that's what he did. But now they don't allow that. So now when you go, they incrementally
Fair.
put you closer to the falls with each vantage
Yeah.
point. So the first one
Okay.
is like the farthest one, the next one's like the middle one, the next one's the closest you're gonna get.
Right.
And the thing that surprised me the most is the fact that there's no guardrails. Like
Yeah.
that was a
Yeah.
surprise to
You
me.
gotta live life on the edge.
Because
Yeah.
no, but yeah, it was a surprise to me. But they don't have any, and I was a little like skeptical. But it was fun because like a lot of people, what they do is they go and they like lie flat on their stomach and they
Yeah.
like just peek over the edge, and you can get a good
Ah,
picture that
that's
way.
Not me.
amazing.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's
Now
a
you-
little crazy
you have a
though.
fair height.
It's really
Yeah,
cool
yeah,
though. It's really
bad.
cool. But even just like the valley, like of course like the Amazon and everything, like just looking at it, it's a thing of
Yeah.
beauty.
I
Um,
definitely wanted to see it.
Yeah,
the
no,
Amazon,
you have
like-
to
Definitely
go.
wanna
You
go
have
to
to.
Guyana.
Kaishore Falls is a once in a lifetime.
Mhm.
I mean, I'd go there again. But
You
I'm
went on
just
the
saying-
rivers as well, right?
No,
Like-
no. So there's like they were telling me there's another like mini falls
And
that you
that's
can
one.
actually like
Okay.
hike to, and like you can look at it from the ground. We didn't get to do that though, but you can see it as you're flying out of Kaishore. But they do feed you as well when you go back. They
Yeah.
like have
Oh.
fried rice and stuff. So yes, it's not like Kaishore in Fort Lauderdale or here, but it's the original Kaishore. Put it
Right,
that
the
way.
original.
The original.
So then you obviously talk with a lot of Guyanese. How would you say Guyanese from Guyana are different from Guyanese-Americans
That's a-
Guyanese women?
in general?
In general,
we can go women next, but let's say in general for now.
The only thing that comes to mind is like they're very culturally like how do I put it? The culture is close to their heart.
Yeah.
Like when I
Mhm.
speak to all of them, right? Like even the family I have there, like they really appreciate the culture and the lifestyle. So I mean, I have family there that recently that lived in New York and they like moved to Guyana, or like they would
back.
like they would come to Florida and stuff and like live for a little bit. But they definitely like when they talk about the comparisons between the life, it's definitely like it's an experience. You just have to listen to them. But
Okay.
that's definitely, I would say, like it's close to their heart. And of course, like when I noticed is that with my like parents and like uncles, I don't know about you guys, but their like accent kind of faded as they like
my
implement-
parents,
and
for
like
sure.
and
my
like
parents' accents are gone.
like
That's
if you
not-
talk if
That
you
was-
talk to like my mom specifically and other parents, like you don't hear it at all. Like it's just
Really?
straight
Yeah.
like yeah.
I mean, my mom could turn it on and off,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
she moved here when she was 13. She moved to New York. So she has like a very white scent, you know what I mean? And then obviously growing up in Florida, you kind of have to like code switch a little
Yeah.
bit.
Right.
But my next question for you was, when you went to Guyana and you were talking to like the kids or like people our age, was their accent faded or did they speak
Still very
like,
strong.
It was
Still
very,
very
strong.
strong.
I have a cousin there who's like my age, and his accent is very strong. Despite like he's been to like New York and stuff a couple times in his life, but his accent is very strong.
Is it like a modern accent? Because I'm thinking about how my grandma used to speak, that old, thick, like Guyanese accent.
It's like
Yeah.
that, I would say, because
Really?
like
Okay.
I would say like especially for my grandparents, theirs is like thick. It's there. Those in Guyana, I would say it's like the same, I guess, because I mean they're born and raised there. But yeah, no, it's definitely like similar to how your grandparents would speak.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what I would say. But
No, my grandma never lost her accent.
Yeah.
My grandma never
always
lost
funny
her
hearing
accent.
her talk. You know.
like I don't know how, but like I feel like because I'll talk to like my dad he has his accent, but he only turns it on like if he's talking to Guyanese people.
Yeah, mine
yeah,
too.
that's my
Yeah,
dad.
like if he's talking to like my brother and I growing up, most of the time it's just like an American accent. But his brother, like my dad's older brother, has a thick Guyanese accent. I'm like, how? He's only 4 years older than you. How does he?
Right?
Like,
Yeah.
how?
Yeah.
Like I never understood that with some Guyanese families. Like
Me
so-
neither.
yeah, like some of them will have like a straight American accent, and some of them are
bro,
like, it's, thick.
It's insanity to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, why wouldn't you want to preserve that?
I think
Right?
it's there's levels to the Guyanese accent though, because like when I'm chilling at home with my parents, it would speak in the Guyanese accent, but it's not hardcore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, back to New York. the Guyanese accents out there are insane, but I'm seeing a really weird trend that the Guyanese artists in our community are Guyanese to the core, but they would have a Trini accent randomly. I don't
Really?
know.
Oh,
So-
I have been noticing that. You know, like
it's-
bring in Alia and
yeah,
stuff like that.
Oh,
yeah.
they come in. I'm like, wait, you're Guyanese though. Like,
Yeah.
it's supposed to be like something else.
I'm like,
I don't know what
keep,
it is,
keep
but
the Guyanese, like,
yeah.
keep it, retain it. You know.
Yeah. Like I feel like I mean, listen, guy, I feel like our Alia is Abidis, like Abidis. Like,
Yeah,
Abdi
yeah,
is
yeah.
we.
Yeah.
Abdi is we.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah. Or like,
But
yeah.
I don't know. That's
like, Guyanese say y'all a lot more.
Yeah.
Than,
Yeah, actually,
than
yeah, they
Trinis.
do say
Trinis say
y'all.
Alia and then
Yeah, you
Guyanese
can
say
say
y'all.
Yeah.
yeah. You guys speak like you're singing.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
Like I can never do a Trini accent.
No, not at
Really?
all.
That's
No,
like
it's
too
funny
much,
because
too
even though
much
I grew
going
up
on.
in a mix, I cannot do a Guyanese accent to save my life.
Really?
Really?
Like, I know
You
the
can do
words here
Guyanese
and there.
accent?
I can do like here and there, but like if you told me to like have like code switch,
Oh.
nah, it's
So you can do a
cooking.
Trini accent. Though,
I can do a
right?
Trini accent, yeah, because most of my Trini
Get out
family.
this room, bro.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
This is straight out
But
of
I've been
Georgetown,
learning,
bro.
Straight out of Georgetown.
I've been learning. I've been learning. I've been learning.
Okay.
Obviously, I think I use IBDs more than anyone in that club actually now. But yeah, I mean, like I said, my dad, you really just talk to mostly in an American accent,
Yeah.
a neutral accent. So,
Yeah.
so I'm
Okay.
learning where I can. Yeah.
The Guyanese accent is very like a little harsher, and the Trini accent is more like, "I's a Trini." Like it's very
Yeah,
like sing
like, it's
song.
sing-
Instead of
yeah.
instead of Mia Guyani, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little raw. The
It's
Guyanese
like
accent.
raw. It's like
Yeah.
yeah.
I love the differences in the letter R. You know,
Yeah. Oh, like what? Like how would a Trini
like
say?
to say like let's say butter, right, or car, and turn as ka, but
Ka.
again as kiar.
Kiar.
Yeah,
Kiar.
yeah, cow.
Yeah.
Kiar, I
like
love that.
Ka.
Growing up in kindergarten, first grade,
Yeah.
I would say cow.
Kiao.
Yeah.
Kiao.
And instead of disrespect.
Disrespect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's disrespectful. Like there's a little
Uh-huh.
difference. But then I realized, wait, that's not normal. Let me adapt.
Even to this day, I still use just now, like
Oh,
how
yo.
Guyanese people
Yeah,
use
yeah,
just
yeah.
now.
Yeah,
And
just
my
now,
friends
just
will
now.
always be like,
Yeah.
and then my friends will always be like, "What do you mean just now? You're gonna come and get this just now? What does that mean?"
Just
like,
now, just now.
Just
Yeah.
now,
Just
yeah.
now. Like,
Exactly.
A little bit, right?
Exactly. You should
yeah.
know that.
And they're like, "Wait, that's not proper grammar," and I'm like, "Okay, that's all."
yeah,
right."
no. Sometimes I do catch myself actually sometimes texting or
Texting
stuff
like that,
in
yeah.
in like Creole, right? And they're gonna be like, why are you like, especially if I use ting, right? Sometimes I'll say like, oh yeah, this ting over there, and I'm gonna grab this ting, right? And they'll be like, oh, you just want to be different. I'm like, no, that's just how I talk when I was little.
I remember during COVID, I don't know how, but like I heard a bunch of Guyanese people like when they would talk about COVID, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, you gotta take precaution." And I would say, I kid you not, like for 2 years, like I would not catch myself. I'd be like, "Yeah, dude, you have to take precaution." And they're like,
Gosh.
I love it. I bet it was Auntie saying that too.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
like, you know, you
I
gotta take
love the way
precaution.
Auntie's talking Guyana.
Yeah.
You know? It's just so like, I don't know. I guess maybe because it reminds me of like my grandma. It makes me feel like
I love hearing it. Like my nanny and my auntie when they talk.
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
It's like, oh, you come home. Oh, all right.
Come here, by
Oh, you buy food again.
yeah, buy food again.
But just by Publix. Have you
Oh,
got one thing I noticed is like, I don't know about you guys, but specifically like with I guess your Bob cousins or like your cousins in New York, like do you notice that they have like a pretty like thick Guyanese accent even though they're from New York?
My cousins in New York sound like you. They sound like very
Yeah.
New York.
Yeah.
They have like a little. They can turn it on and off. But they sound like Nitesh.
Yeah, I think they definitely can do the code switch better just because
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
around it more. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Like my cousins, I think from my family, like my cousins my age, they more so speak with like a little bit of a New York accent / like
Yeah.
American accent. But from like my older cousins, like 30, 40 years old, who like really grew up in like the essence of like 80s Queens, like when it was
Yeah.
like all of my parents came, they more so have like the thick like Guyanese accent that they kind of like talk with all the time unless it's like with certain people.
I feel like that's the vibe.
Yeah,
right? Going
it's
back to
the vibe.
GUYSA, that's the vibe we kind of bring, like the 80s, like the people who moved to get
Yeah.
New York in the
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
80s vibe. So we had a Guyanese person come the other day. And he's like, yo, are you guys like stuck in like the 1900s? Like, why are you guys like playing this music or this and that? I'm like, I don't know. It's just like, this is our interpretation
Yeah,
of
it
Guyana.
just reminds me of like when I was a kid and like my
Yeah.
parents would play like that old
Rum
chutney
shot.
music, Rum
Yeah,
Shop,
Rum
Rum
Shop.
Shop 3.
Rum Shop.
Rum Shop
mix.
3, exactly.
Rum Shop
Yeah,
3
but
on
all those
YouTube.
cassettes.
The dance hall,
Cassettes.
90s dance hall, 2000 dance hall is
Yep.
the best.
I have
No,
like
literally.
I think we have up to volume 47 of the
Really?
Rum Shop
Really?
something. I'm like,
Insanity.
I don't even know how to use a CD anymore. I'm not gonna
Right?
lie.
Like, it's insane that CDs were when we were kids, and now it's
Right?
like obsolete.
Now kids
Yeah.
these days, they don't even know what a CD is.
Yeah.
Bro. Like, this is
You know, somebody
ancient.
asked me that. I was like, that's disrespectful. like get out of my face. Like,
That's crazy. DJ Private Ryan.
DJ Soca Mix
I'm going to
2015.
see him.
DJ
So
Robert.
I'm going down to Trinidad for Carnival, and
Oh,
one of the
that's gonna be
events
so
is
fun.
Brainwash, and he's performing there. I am so
What?
excited.
Speaking
Oh
of
my
which,
God.
2015 album.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's the best one, bro.
2015.
Speaking of which,
Yeah.
Guyana just had Mushroom Money actually.
Yeah,
You know,
how'd that look?
yeah, I
How
saw
was
it on like a couple stories. It looks pretty cool, but of course it's not as big as Carnival in Trinidad.
Yeah.
I mean, Mashromani is still amazing.
Yeah, like when you look at it,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, actually, we wanted to so when we were deciding what we were doing for our big event this year, it's either going to be Mashromani or Kangan, right? But we decided like, oh, Mashromani is kind of close to Pagua, like those might conflict. People won't want to go to both, like, but nah, I think that's like a beautiful like festival we need to bring. You know, there's
Yeah.
celebrate the Republic
One
you know?
day.
Yeah,
I wanted to ask, like, you guys know like the stereotype, like Guyanese families are huge.
Yeah.
yeah.
How
My-
many?
How many siblings? Okay, so my mom has 8 siblings. My dad only has 2. So my family is huge. I have so many cousins. I probably have cousins in Guyana or like distant family that I don't really know about even. But she has 4 sisters and she has 5 sisters, including her, and then 4 brothers.
They're all like full siblings, right? Not half
Full
siblings.
siblings,
Because
full siblings.
a lot of families have that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, the half siblings and all that.
yeah. My
Crazy grandpa.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah, you
oh,
going
it's
around.
always the
It's
grandpa.
always the
It's
grandpa,
always
it's
the
never the
grandpa.
woman.
It's always the grandpa. My dad my dad has 5 siblings from the same mother and father, and then he has like 4 half siblings. And the funny
Wait,
thing is that like only recently did we apparently find out about one of them. And when I was in
Yeah.
Guyana, we met him, and I'm like
Insanity.
damn. Like, but my mom, she has 8 siblings, all full like mother and
8.
father. Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
3
My dad has,
sisters, 5 brothers. Yeah.
He has 4 siblings, and so there's 5 kids. Him, his 2 brothers and his 2 sisters.
Okay.
So
My-
it's still pretty big.
My mom also has 8 siblings. That's a funny
8?
trend right now.
Yeah.
It's
8,
yeah.
yeah.
My dad has 4 sisters. He's it's 3 of him and then another one.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's definitely
Rough.
like I love it though, cause like I have like so many. We all have so many cousins. I have 22 on my
Yeah.
mom's side. I have like 20 on my dad's side.
Yeah.
Like if you count like everyone, but yeah, I love it. And like, oh god, don't even. You guys, grandparents have to have a lot more. Like it has to be the same for
Oh
them,
man,
right?
don't
Yeah.
get me started with that.
Oh,
Do not get me
God.
started with that.
Bro.
Bro, I'm still determining like what distant cousins every other day.
Yeah,
I'm like,
every other month.
No,
like
I-
my mom will tell me like, oh, we found,
the
another
maddest
one of your-
the maddest story I had was I met one of my cousins who grew up in New York at USF. I never had met her before. I literally, so my last name Aklu, right? It's made up, right? When they brought them from India to Guyana,
Yeah.
it was like, okay, we think it's this, so it's gonna be
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Wait, what is
So-
your?
They said we think it's
what is
this.
your Hindi like? What is it? Was it supposed to be?
I think it's AKLIU. I think that's what it was in the document, but they spelled it ACKLOO.
Okay.
Yeah. So everyone who has my last name is related to me. Like at least if they're from Guyana, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Everyone
the
who has my
uniqueness
last
of
So
your name.
you're
Yeah.
sure? You're sure about that?
No, like actually,
That's crazy.
because my name is if they're Mauritian though, because I know, apparently there's someone in Mauritius.
okay.
I don't know how that happened
Yeah.
because they speak French. So
Okay.
you know what I mean. But like, yeah. So my friend, he's like, oh, there's this girl in my class that has your last name. Like, do you have a sister that goes here? I'm like, my sister's like 14. Like, she's not gonna
Yeah.
be here. And they're like, oh, well, here's her Instagram. Like, hit her up. We forgot our dads are cousins.
What?
Yeah. And she grew up in Queens the whole time. I grew up in Atlanta, so it's like,
Like-
far.
You confirmed it with your dad,
Yeah.
and he was like, yeah.
No. Well, he told me to ask her like, oh yeah, like who's her dad? She
Okay.
tells me, and he's like, oh yeah, that's my cousin.
You gotta ask. Her.
I'm like, what the hell?
That's
How did you guys not
crazy.
know?
That's like that's because you talk about your last name, right? It's the
Yeah.
same thing with me. Like I haven't met any other like people with my last
Prasad.
name. Yeah. But the funny thing is that like my last name was supposed to be like there's a whole like story, but apparently my last name was supposed to be Suklal somehow.
What?
Yeah, from
Big
what my dad
difference
told me.
there.
But
Yeah.
like the funny thing is that my dad's family's name is Kalika Prasad, but my
Okay.
dad, that's not his last name, because when he came to America, he thought that Kalika Prasad was too long of a last name.
Yeah.
So he took out the Kali and he made it his middle name. So now me and my brother and him all have Ka Prasad, while the rest of my family is Kalika
Custom.
Prasad.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yes.
but
See, we
yeah.
don't have that with like Prasad and Prasad because everybody has that name, right? But I do have a similar story. I believe, and I might be wrong, but I believe my last name was supposed to be Badesi, not Prasad. But they messed it up, of course, and
As they do.
yeah, as they do. As they
Badesi
do.
cream soda.
Badesi cream soda, yes. Yeah. I
Wait,
love that cream soda.
Oh yeah.
didn't you're not related to them, right?
I am.
Oh, you are. I remember you told
it's
me.
my grandfather's uncle, I believe.
Oh my God, that's cool.
he owns cream soda.
I'm not sure if that's the brand we're getting for Kangan or not, but we're
Okay, so
definitely
you're
getting cream
cheating. That's
soda.
all right.
The best
Yeah,
one
You
is
guys don't
like,
like the Badesis, it's okay, it's fine.
Had I known someone was hiding behind another last name.
Yeah.
that's your family business, bro.
This is your family business right here.
Dang. Okay, I'll look at it.
Support
I'll
local
cancel. I'll
businesses.
cancel the order and order the next one. You know? Oh yeah.
My so like I don't remember I don't remember if it's called Kaishore or what, but so there is a cream soda that my nana used to like. He has like a whole pack of them in his room in New York.
yeah.
It's our cream soda.
It's is it called Kaishore?
No,
think
it
it
has
is,
just
isn't
has the
it?
falls
It has
on
the falls on it. I don't know if that's the name. It's not the name though.
It's
but-
actually not the name.
No,
It's
no,
not-
I
it's
thought it
like a green-
was.
It's a green
It's
bottle.
like a small
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and he
It's
gets it in bulk from like the like neighborhood like Guyana store. It's like he's because we all like it, and he's like, oh, for my grandkid then. But he
Yeah.
like gets a whole, and like those ones are like one of the best I've had. I would say maybe it's better than Solo.
So
Oh,
how
for
come you
sure.
didn't? How come you didn't provide them for this
My bad.
podcast?
My bad.
He's right. He's right. He's right.
Oh, he's
Shout
keeping
out
them for
Georgetown. We can't even get a
Yeah.
drink from Georgetown.
Gotta go to New York for it.
No. Is
Oh, yeah,
it better
let-
than the Badesi cream soda though? Because that's pretty good.
I've never had Badesi soda. Don't hate on me. I never
Maybe I
had
should
it.
bring some next time.
I never had it. It's like a typical thing in Guyana families that everyone knows each other's business. Is that
Yeah.
the same with y'all?
Oh,
Oh,
man,
yeah.
do not get me started.
Oh
Do
god.
not get me started. Guyanese. I would tell you, everyone in Georgetown, Demerara, New Amsterdam, Essequibo, all of them are gonna know your business before you even.
Oh, yeah.
Love to
before you even
gossip.
act.
Oh yeah. Auntie them like they're on the phone. Oh yeah, you know what my son just did?
Yes,
It's like
immediately.
You're like in the kitchen like making food. And
yeah.
you're like, what?
It's like they get mad at you for overhearing. It's like, dog, you're on speaker in the other room. What you want me to do?
And tell me why they always talk so loud on the phone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's like at full blast, like you're talking into the mic, like literally talking like this, and it's like, yo, like calm down, auntie. I'm just trying to say happy
They can
birthday.
hear you.
Yeah, and like, oh god, yeah, no, and then Like it's funny, like if you get a new phone, like I remember like one time in my family, my aunt got a phone and like it was her first phone, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, here she get one phone." I'm like,
Yeah,
like,
how?
bro, what?
With the WhatsApp app, the WhatsApp group
Oh,
chat.
yeah,
app, right?
the status updates, status
WhatsApp
updates.
kills me because like obviously like just casually we don't use that here.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like they fiend for WhatsApp
love
and the rest of the
Yeah.
world.
They'll send you a whole bunch of links on there.
When the aunties and uncles them are sending you like good morning.
Yeah, yeah,
With a
yeah.
flower,
Merry
with like a
Christmas.
lotus. Merry Christmas.
I have a family group chat with like my entire dad's side family,
Mhm.
like first cousins, I mean, and the aunts, uncles, all that, all in this one group chat. Every morning you get like a have a good Monday, have a good Tuesday. My
Do you ever,
Auntie sends
Do you ever
stuff.
get the religious ones?
Yes, all the
Yeah.
time, all the time. Like it's a random
Yeah.
15-second bajan of like a good morning with a star coming out of a flower
Yeah,
and
yeah.
all this stuff.
You know what's the solution to that? I just
Muting
mute
it.
them. I just mute
Yeah,
them.
just
Don't
mute
worry.
them.
I just
Same.
mute-
Oh,
Half
I just
of
don't,
it is
I haven't
irrelevant.
opened WhatsApp in like ages,
Yeah.
man. I think I have like happy 17th birthday messages there.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's definitely a trend. If something happens to you or something good, something bad. Oh,
Immediately.
Instant.
I'm here you do
Instant.
this.
Here you get into USF.
Yeah, I'm here you get into all this. You get into UCF. You go, so you go UCF. All right.
Exactly.
All right.
That's insanity. I mean, like that's definitely something that didn't leave the culture. The everyone in your business, everyone.
Oh yeah, the
knowing,
gossiping.
The gossiping.
Yep.
You guys ever been, or has an auntie ever attempted to set you up with their daughter?
Oh.
Not yet.
Or, don't you-
Too young.
Nah.
It's a typical.
He
If you
says
go to
too young.
Mandir, you haven't experienced that at Mandir.
Nah. Oh, nah. I've like in a joking way.
In a
yeah,
joking
yeah,
way.
In a joking way for sure. A couple
Yeah.
times.
In a joking way, yeah, but like I've always I'm like the youngest of the cousins, kind of, so not really. They're kind of just think of like me and my brothers as like the babies, so they don't really put us on.
I feel like it's always the grandmas who do it. Like,
Yeah.
we got one
Yeah.
grandson.
Or
we-
they'll see an ex gal at the function and they'll be like, "There's a pretty gal over there.
Go
You should go talk to
her.
she." You know.
We get
That
plenty
guy
grandson. We get plenty grandson. If that one not work out, we got one out.
Exactly.
That's what they are.
Oh man.
I have a story. So, well, it's just how my parents met. It was funny because my mom is from a village near Winter Forest in Guyana called Harlem. And my dad is from
Harlem.
Yeah, I know. But-
Harlem.
Is he a globetrotter?
so when my parents met, my dad's asking my mom, "What part of Guyana are you from?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm from Harlem." He's like, No, Guyana. And she's like, "Yeah, I'm from Harlem." He's like, "Are you talking about Harlem in New York or like there?" She's like, "No, I'm from a village in Guyana called Harlem." And he's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing." Like he was going on and off. He was like, he didn't know. Like he was so
The
surprised.
Guyanese Riz.
Yeah, I was like,
Harlem.
Harlem. I was like, and I went there, and it's not like Harlem, unfortunately.
Oh,
Better or worse?
worse.
It could be
Oh,
worse.
It can be worse.
No,
Is
it's
it
the same. It's the same.
possible?
It's the same.
It's the same. I don't know if I should be.
It's the same.
That's probably a good thing for Guyana, not a good thing for New York.
Anybody that's from Harlem and Guyana, don't come for us.
We love you. We love you.
We
We
love
love
you
you.
guys.
Or
Shout out
Harlem.
Harlem.
Come to ICSA and guys some meetings. Trust
Yeah.
me, you're
Shout
welcome.
out Harlem.
Trust,
Shout out
trust.
Harlem.
Big up Harlem.
Big up Harlem.
Yeah, no, but I definitely like maybe not Harlem, but I want to go to Guyana and like I want it to be just like it was never touched by that oil money.
Yeah.
I want to go play with some chicken, some fowl. I want to go chase fowl. I want to go to the market and like
Oh,
get
yeah.
fish
And eat
like,
fowl?
vegetable. Oh, I'm not gonna kill them though.
I don't.
Pacifism.
Yeah.
No NFL.
I don't think that even with all the oil money coming in, I don't think Guyana will lose its culture.
Yeah.
I think
so.
I
it's
don't
very,
think so.
very
it's
hard.
so ingrained in
Now, yeah.
Guyana.
I think this generation now, some of them are losing their culture. I feel like it's either you have your culture fully,
Right.
or you lack culture totally. I see that's a huge thing I noticed too. It's like in New York, there's a lot of Guyanese kids that are, I don't know how to, they're trying to be gangsters and all this
yeah,
stuff.
I've seen
And I'm
that.
Trying to play the bad
I'm
man
like,
kinda
you're trying to be
role,
a
yeah.
bad thing, or I'm like, that doesn't make sense. It's like they're
Yeah.
losing the culture in that way, and they're not listening to the music. They think listening to Babla and Kanchan is like cringe and stuff. And I'm like, bro, on the way to school, I'm blasting Babla and
Yeah.
Kanchan.
I
I'm
was blasting that this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, like like 40s,
Yeah.
like all this music. I love that. It's like a lot of people are losing that because even when I had a Guyanese friend in my high school, I would be like, yo, do you listen to chutney music? Do you listen to like whatever singer there is, or even 40s singers from India and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Those like I love that old music.
Yeah.
Like when you're playing dominoes and stuff. Like he was like, nah, I don't listen to any of that. The closest thing I listen to is like soca. I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but it's like
Yeah.
chutney is our thing, and I feel we're losing that here. But in Guyana, even with this oil money, the old people are so hard headed that they would never
Never
Never.
let
change.
Yeah.
never let their kids.
But a lot of people, they come from Guyana, come here, and they don't change an oil, which is not really good because then you have to adapt to the things around you.
Yeah.
Right.
But you can tell they're really strong in their culture.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
No,
that's what
yeah.
matters. And I have a question for you guys, actually, on that note. So when you guys have kids, are you guys going to yell at them in a Guyanese accent or what?
Oh, okay, listen. So my cousin, right? She was the first one to get married in our immediate family. And that was the question I had to her.
Yeah.
Because we only put on the Guyanese accent when we're like
Angry.
either making fun of them or like
Okay.
like just either making fun of them or making jokes with each other and stuff like that. And other than that, it wouldn't just come out of nowhere.
Right.
But now that she has a baby, like anytime this kid not messes up, but like he's young, so it's like this fools around or something. Like you hear it comes out, I'm like, wait, this is so weird. This starts
Yeah.
coming out.
Yeah.
And I saw a video from a while ago when my Pua, my youngest like aunt was getting married. My dad was in the video. He had the craziest New York accent I've ever heard, and the guy he was funny and all this stuff. And then, but the guy I know has like a Guyanese accent on
Yeah.
the usual. So I
Yeah.
think it develops along as you develop in age. That also
Right.
You
comes with
become
it.
your parents.
Yeah, low key. I think that's what it is.
Nothing will make a kid act right more than yelling at somebody in a Guyanese accent.
Oh,
You'll
yeah.
see how quick they
That's true.
Because even on like before we talked about this, how you said like we're gonna turn into those people. I feel like it's like that now, kind of. Because when we're at parties, like we used to be the ones who would sit on like sleep on the chair. With, like,
Yeah,
our dads, and everything.
yeah.
Now we're the ones on the dance floor. Like
That's what I'm
going.
saying. I mean, my sister, me and her are 5 years apart, and
Yeah.
I definitely do yell at her. Like
Yeah.
whenever I'm like mad, it goes straight to fucking broken English. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I definitely like for me. I would definitely talk to them in Guyanese because I want to pass on the culture.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna
Yeah.
try to make it kind of like how I grew up, like similar to how I grew up for them, for my kids. In the sense that like I want them to like have that sort of like Guyanese parent experience.
No,
the
so-
Guyanese
Down
It
parents.
the
raises
nose.
them right, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even though like not of course everything, but for the most part, yes, I want them to like grow up like with like hearing all that stuff.
I'm just
that
worried.
Yeah.
I want them to know, like, be able to understand the accents and
Yeah.
understand it, right? But I'm like,
Yeah.
how can I preserve that? Like, I normally we're just talking in our normal accents.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be able to do a Trinity or Guyanese accent 24 hours a day every
Oh,
time
I
I see my
know,
kids. You know what I
I
mean?
know.
Like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna talk about normal accent, but like, I don't want them to lose that. You know?
I know. I don't want them to lose it either. That's what grandma and grandpa are for, my parents.
Yeah.
They're going to give it to them.
But I
Oh,
think
yeah.
that's also a huge thing is music. When you listen to that chutney music and stuff, that's a huge thing that carries down the tradition of that broken
Yeah.
English and stuff. Because
Yeah.
to listen to that music, you have to understand what they're saying.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like any song by Rakesh Yankar and all these people, like no idea what they're saying if you're a white guy. But for me, I have a terrible Guyanese accent.
Yeah.
But when I'm
But I
hearing it, I
understand
understand
that.
what it's saying.
Yeah.
Right.
Because of the music. I listen to the music, and also because like my parents would have the little twang out of nowhere of
Right.
their Guyanese accent.
Now, the funniest thing is I took one of my white friends to the Caribbean Supercenter, and obviously it's a Guyanese own business, I'm pretty sure, right? And a lot of the workers there are Guyanese, so they're just talking to each other, like, "Oh yeah, pass me like a next can to put on the shelf." And my friend turns to me, she's like, "What language are they speaking?" I'm looking at her, I'm like, "What language are they speaking? English." That's another thing too, is when they ask me like, "Oh, your parents are from Guyana, like what language do they
Yo,
speak?"
yeah.
I'm like, English, like
Yeah,
I mean,
just broken English. I
Yeah.
used to have my grandma next door, and my friend would come over all the time because she's like neighbors with me, right? And she would come in, like talk to my grandma, you know, whatever. And my grandma would say something. She had a harsh, like Guyanese accent, like really, really harsh. Sometimes I didn't really understand what she was saying because she would speak fast. And my friend was like, "What is she saying? Wait, like, can you tell me?" And I was like, "Bro, she's speaking English. Like, you don't understand." At the same time, I get it.
Yeah.
I kind of get it.
That
Yeah.
like with my Aji, that happens sometimes. Like if like the AC guy comes in the house, like
Yeah.
she'll be talking to him and she'll be going like just going
Yeah, to
off about
translate.
whatever. And
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
like I remember one time he looked at me. He's like
You have to become a translator.
he mouthed to me. He was like I don't
What she's
understand it.
saying.
Yeah, I was like, it's good, bro. I got you.
I think I have a little difference there. My grandparents, on my mom's side or my dad's side, I'm talking, they were teachers in Guyana, so their English was a little bit like
speaking proper
like
English.
more
Yeah.
proper, a little British
Yeah.
English. Like my pool, one of my eldest, she says like mom still.
Really?
But it's
Mom.
because like what my Aji and they were like English teachers and all this stuff, so they had the little British twang in their accents.
Interesting.
But I never got to experience like I have no idea what my Aji's saying or something like that, or my Aj or any of that, because they had a little a more proper tone to their accent.
No, I have
my-
it sometimes.
My grandma would have like these like really specific sayings. I can't remember them off the top of my head, and she would speak in like a really, really deep accent. Sometimes I had no idea what she was saying. That's like that old Guyanese style.
Yeah.
And I noticed that like when I was with her or when I'm around Guyanese people as well, like the accent just naturally kind of comes out. Like I don't have
Right.
to try. Like obviously when I'm with you guys, I'm gonna speak like with a little white scent, you know. But
You kill me with the white, so you know that.
The white
that's a
scent.
new that's a new
Customer
phrase.
service.
I'm gonna add that to my the customer service
the
accent. right?
customer service. Hi,
Yeah.
how are you?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
the
man.
switch up from when my
Yeah.
mom was talking to me and then someone calls her on the phone for work.
Yes.
It's like,
No,
who are
That's
you?
how you
Like-
know. That's how you know to be quiet when your mom starts yelling at you. Clean those wares. Hi.
Like I try to just keep my normal accent like through
Yeah.
everything and stuff. But
Yeah.
like my sister pointed out once, like my friends back home in Georgia, right? I very much predominantly white community.
Yeah.
So obviously I can't talk like that. So I'll literally switch and be like, "Hey man, how you doing?" Like, "Oh yeah, we should hit the lake later." Like completely change the tones, the like phrases and all that. Like, and then my sister's like, "Oh yeah, you were on the phone with John." I'm like, "How do you know that?"
Yeah,
Like, I can
because-
just tell.
Sometimes when like I call my cousins, we just talk in a Guyanese accent. Like we just do it for like 5 minutes, and then we're like, all right, let's go back.
Like
I'll
it's
answer-
always
yeah.
like starts with a little bit of a joke. You know what I'm saying?
And it just keeps going.
Yeah.
And just keeps
like
going.
we'll answer the phone, we'll be like, "Wam chach," or like, "What's up, chop?"
Oh yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
We'll go on, chap.
Come on, chap.
Look at this
I-
poor chop here.
That comes
Wagwan
out.
bana.
Wait, that's you're Canadian, bro.
Huh?
That's a lot of Canadian right there.
Nah, bana's good.
Bana's
Bana's
isn't
not
that more
Guyanese.
Trini?
Not?
It's more Trini Jamaican.
Most of my Guyanese family says bana.
Really?
Well,
Really?
My,
different-
any
the-
Canada people I know, like they
bana.
bana, fam, all
Really?
that stuff. I like.
You know what my favorite
Fam.
Toronto word of the month is?
What is it?
Krusky.
Krusky.
What is that?
Yo,
word?
Krusky, what you saying, fam?
Yo, I hate those videos.
What is that?
Krusky is like another way of saying broski. So, okay,
Oh.
do you know the word crody?
No,
Okay, do you know what crodyism is?
no.
Okay,
Wait, what's cronyism?
This
What,
is like
is this a lesson on
explaining Riz.
cronyism?
all right, educational lesson. Crodyism, defined as friendship. Your crody is your brody. Kroski is broski. Fam, bro. Like I don't know. They made like a bunch of words for friend. Yeah, but Toronto has like a trillion different ways just to say friend. You can say ak, which is
Ak.
like aki.
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 Yeah, you know General
heard-
Ak, right?
like sock.
yeah, ak, it
like,
means friend or brother.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like another
Oh,
way
okay,
you say it. Like Toronto's slang is so
It's-
interesting.
Yeah, it's
interesting,
But I love it
yeah.
because you know it's really a collection of other cultures.
Yeah.
Words.
a lot of Jamaican.
Yeah.
Lots of patois.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Toronto is a very diverse city.
You'll
I would
never hear
say.
kid. You'll hear Ute.
You,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
pick
yeah,
the
yeah.
you
Sometimes,
them.
yeah.
the you
Pickney
them.
sometimes as well.
Pickney.
Oh yeah,
Pickney.
Pickney.
Pickney,
Yeah,
yeah.
sometimes. But
The
you
Ute
definitely
them.
hear Ute a lot.
Have you like? Do you know if there's like a lot of like Guyanese and Trini? I mean, I know there's a lot of
Oh
Trini
man,
cuisine there.
don't
and
get me
stuff, but,
started
like,
on how much Guyanese cuisines ever. I'm telling you, there's a lot
Yeah.
of Guyanese. Like you guys
In
have to go to
Toronto.
Toronto.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
must.
Toronto.
Yeah, you can find curry shops like everywhere. Like a lot of the mandirs are Guyanese run. Like the one that I
Yeah.
go to when I'm there
Yeah.
is Guyanese run.
Yeah.
And you know, like I said, it was like the one few times I could ever feel like connected to Guyana up until I moved to Florida.
Yeah.
So that was kind of how like I learned. I mean, it wasn't that much because I was obviously there for a short time and then like in small spurts, but it reminded me like, oh yeah, this is still like my second half. you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
like-
I definitely want to meet more Canadian Guyanese. Like I have family from there, but I'm not like I haven't seen them a lot. But it's like I want to
They're
definitely.
funny.
Yeah,
they're very funny.
they're funny.
Mhm.
I think it's just the Toronto accent making everything they
Yeah,
sound either
that's the
really
thing, yeah.
goofy or really
Do
funny.
you guys know City Boy JJ's guy?
Oh god, no,
Oh,
he's
God.
Tamil.
City
He's Tamil.
He's Sri, isn't he
He's
Sri
Sri
Lankan?
Lankan.
He's Sri
Yeah,
Lankan.
Sri Lankan.
But
He's
it
Sri Lankan.
kills me when I was in Europe. Everyone was saying I looked like him. I was like, please.
A little bit. A
I
little
wonder
bit.
why.
I know, just a dark, a
Wonder
dark
why.
brown
Just
man.
brown.
Exactly.
Hair.
The hair, yeah, that's probably
Yeah.
part of it. The slight Toronto accent, yeah. I'm definitely City Boy JJ.
Oh yeah, that's the first thing I
City
I
Boy
noticed. about you.
JJ. Nah.
City Boy JJ.
You already know, fam.
You don't know.
Don't know.
Don't know.
Krusky.
I like fam where
cheese.
I lie. Oh, cheese is
lie,
fire. I lie. Yeah.
cheese.
I don't know how y'all use it, but like I like
So-
I lie.
A lie just means right.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Oh,
like
wait.
yo, like a guy. You can say like Leanna's Guyanese. You'd be like a lie, like right.
Oh,
or like
a
she's
lie?
acting like mad Guyanese.
Oh,
a lie.
Doesn't that mean like you lie?
But true.
Nah,
like-
nah,
No,
no,
no, no, no,
not
no.
lie. at
Oh.
all.
It's literally like how to use it like
you know, a Guyanese person would be like, "You lie," you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
Nah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that was damn good though. That's what I'm trying to add to you. But what I'm saying is like if you say a lie, it's like yo, the Tim's not tasting good, and then someone would be like a lie, like right?
I feel like
I like a
follow
lie.
sentence.
I
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah.
lie.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like a yeah.
Okay, I got you.
You're definitely gonna be using these
Go
all over,
smoke
right?
that you don't take
Smoke that
crumbs
you.
nowhere.
Exactly. Like, I'm trying to think of like what's my favorite Toronto word. That's like strictly Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
It might honestly be cheesed. It's such a beautiful
Yeah, I'm
word.
cheesed.
I'm so cheesed,
I'm
man.
saying cheese,
Yeah,
but if
yeah.
the business is
cheesy.
not true, Shawty's just talking.
Shorty's just talking. Like,
Yeah, I saw this thing about like a Guyanese guy saying "shawty" and he was like, "Hey, Sharti,
Sharty.
Sharti."
Sharty. That sounded
He was-
Indian.
Yeah, he was like,
Sharti,
"Hey,
yeah.
Sharti, my name's Ramesh."
you know something that I never actually could tell until someone pointed out. So I always thought like the Jamaican accent obviously sounded more African. You know, it has a huge African population
Yeah,
naturally. Someone pointed out like, oh yeah, like you know, like the Guyanese and Trinity accents sound more Indian. And
Yeah,
then,
they
obviously I
do.
never thought about it like that. And then I started listening. I was like, wait, actually, like he's got a point. Because
Yeah.
sometimes I'll hear like Indians talking, I can hear like the
I can hear it
intonations.
too. You
Yeah,
know what?
and I'm
I
like,
noticed that as well very recently too. That the Guyanese accent is really, really similar to the Indian accent. Because I've been trying to like learn how to do
Yeah.
an Indian accent.
I don't
obviously-
think so.
I do a good one.
Oh.
I do a good one. Hey, I
Good
do,
one.
I do
you
a
get
good
Indian
one.
accent.
Yes, I do a good one. I think.
Beta.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
I like when Indian people say "damn," like
Damn, yeah, it's beautiful.
this is some damn good biryani.
yes. But it sounds so nice.
Yeah,
it's like,
so nice.
yeah.
Yeah, some of the words they say like in English and Indian accents so like pure. Like I
Or
love.
like how we
listening
say
to it.
how we say like bye, right? Like bye.
They say
Bye.
Baya.
But baya is brother.
Baya's brother.
Yeah.
So my theory is, did that come from, you know, Hindi? Like baya,
So
did baya turn to
yeah,
bye?
those words
Yeah.
actually they originate from Bhojpuri.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That,
Bhojpuri.
the old Indian language.
Right.
Okay, for example, we say pua, right? I
Yeah.
say pua. Like my pua is my dad's sister, right?
Right.
But in India, the main one is bua. So it's like a
Bua.
Yeah,
lot.
it's with a B.
Very similar, but we have the Bhojpuri style of it. Same with
Right.
our
Yeah.
music. Like a lot of the chutney or at weddings, the music that they would sing like when they're walking around the fire and stuff. Those are all Bhojpuri style
Right.
songs. An Indian person that speaks Hindi, they could understand it, but not fully. They won't fully understand it because it's more of their broken down Indian accent.
Yeah.
Indian, like we have. Okay, there's English and then there's broken English from Guyana.
Yeah.
There's Hindi and then there's Bhojpuri, which is a broken Hindi.
Is it
That's,
really?
so
Oh,
that's
I
where
didn't
it
know
comes
Bhojpuri
I
from.
did not know
Yeah, yeah.
that.
Because I know like when you talked about like we take like the Bhojpuri part, like it's like it's North Indian, right?
I think it's spread out throughout the whole India. I don't know fully, but it's just more of like their language is broken down into like it's a different dialect, I guess
Yeah.
you can call it.
You know, it's
Yeah.
mad. I've heard people say that, like when people speak like Indo-Caribbean Hindi, or they call it Indo-Caribbean Hindi officially, but let's just call it Bhojpuri for simplicity, right?
Yeah.
In Fiji, they speak that.
Yeah.
And, like really
Yeah.
similar to how like our great-grandparents would have spoken it,
Yeah.
which is insane. But it's such a shame that, you know, the British wiped it out in the Caribbean. Like,
know.
Yeah.
were your parents able to understand and like any Bhojpuri?
No.
No,
I mean, my
like-
dad a little bit of not
Maybe like certain Hindi
like
phrases, but
Hindi
like
Yeah.
phrases, yeah, maybe because
Nahi
of prayer.
for
But
no
Nahi.
stuff like that. My
Yeah,
mom
then
used to say
anything
nahi.
from the
Kya
music
baat hai,
or
kya
the
baat hai.
movies.
yeah,
But I know a lot of Surinamese people. They didn't lose
Yeah,
their
yeah,
culture.
they can
They
speak it
grew
as
up.
well.
They're speaking Hindi and they're speaking their Dutch.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
never
Dutch,
lost that,
yeah.
which is like
So I love-
it's kind of jealous of like
You-
a little jealous of that.
You know,
Yeah.
what was the biggest on the topic of Surinamese? The biggest culture shock was I went to Amsterdam, and Guyanese to New York is Surinamese to Amsterdam. Every brown or black person you see there is Surinamese.
Yeah, Dutch people.
And then obviously
Yeah.
we have Chinese Guyanese. We love Chinese Guyanese, you know.
yes,
So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try Surinamese food. It should be
man.
similar. I walk in,
shiny man.
it's all Indonesians. So you know how like they brought Chinese to Guyana, they brought
Yeah, yeah.
Indonesians to Suriname.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and literally everyone in there, they're speaking English in a Caribbean accent, like yeah, and then
What?
obviously they spoke Dutch in a Surinamese Caribbean accent, right? So it's just like wow, like these countries are so like interesting in the way
Yeah.
the immigration was, or I guess the forceful immigration, but like
Speaking of forceful immigration. Speaking of that, every time I see like a white Guyanese on my TikTok, it just amazes me so
does.
much. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't expect it. And my grandma actually was very light skinned. We think that she had Portuguese in her genes, but we
Okay.
don't know for sure. You know how it was back then. But she had like dark, light brown, like reddish hair, and she was really really light. But she was
Nepal.
Yeah,
Nepal?
Nepalese.
Yeah.
Could be Nepalese.
Maybe we did a
There's
DNA
some Arab
test.
as well, maybe.
Yeah, maybe we did a DNA
Yeah.
test and it said Portugal and India.
Yeah.
But she's
Okay.
just really, really light skin, right? But when she talks, it just surprises you because it's like a straight, harsh, like Guyanese accent. But it
Wait,
just surprises.
isn't Portugal and India like Goa?
Yeah,
Right,
Goa.
Goa.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah, representing the back.
Shout out Maggie P. Shout out Maggie P.
Check it, Mega P.
But nah, I met a white Guyanese at USF.
Really?
Yeah, I was so surprised. She comes up to me, she's like, well, I mean, she's like, yeah, my mom's from Guyana. I'm like, yo.
Did
what?
she have an accent?
Nah, she's American.
Oh, okay,
But like,
okay.
it's still like
Yeah.
the Portuguese are out there, you know, like
Yeah.
that's amazing.
All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Down Bacchanal Boulevard.
We'd like to thank our sponsor, Sing's Roti Shop.
Make sure you follow us on our socials.
And I want to thank ICSA for having me here. I hope to see you guys around at a Guyanese Student Association event at USF. We have a con gun coming up March 6th at 7 p.m. in MSC 2707. Little wedding fete for all you. And I mean, I hope to see you guys there. We'll have some good food, good vibes, and a real good time.
All right.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye,
Thank you for
everyone.
tuning in.